What's up, guys? I'm Josh. This right here is my leopard gecko Bill, and today I'm going to tell you a bunch of facts I bet you didn't know about leopard geckos. Let's get into it. Leopard geckos belong to a genus called Eublepharis. Pardon my Latin, I'm not a native Latin speaker, so I'll do my best. This group was first described in 1827 by a British zoologist by the name of John Gray. And I want you to keep in mind the scientific name Eublepharis because this is going to come important later on in the video. Now, leopard geckos are perhaps most famous for is their ability to regrow their tail. If a predator bites off their tail, then they are able to regrow it within 30 days. Which is actually extremely impressive. Even though many people don't realize, there are many lizards that can regrow their tails. However, leopard geckos can regrow them faster than any other known species of lizard. That's pretty impressive. They can do it in under 30 days. Think about how long it takes you to heal something like a cut, and now imagine an entire limb of your body is removed. To be able to regrow that within 30 days is very impressive. Another not as widely known fact about leopard geckos is the fact that they're cathemeral. If you're unfamiliar with this term, it basically means that they're not awake based on the sun. So they might be out at night some nights, they might be out during the day, they might be out at dawn or dusk. It's really just dependent on the situation and the circumstance. Many other animals, reptiles, can be nocturnal, crepuscular, or diurnal, but leopard geckos are cathemeral. Another cool fact about the leopard gecko is that they actually have movable eyelids, and this goes back to their scientific name, which is Eublepharis macularius, and Eublepharis actually means true eyelid, while macularius means spotted gecko. So basically the scientific name for leopard geckos is a spotted gecko with true eyelids, or a true eyelided spotted gecko. And you may be thinking, people have eyelids. What's so special about a gecko having eyelids? Well, the truth is many geckos, such as crested geckos, do have eyelids, but they are not movable. They're transparent. And so to clean them, instead of having eyelids that blink, they actually lick their eyelids. Another cool feature of the leopard gecko is that they actually have claws instead of sticky pads. When you think of geckos, you tend to think of something that has those special pads that can stick to just about any surface and crawl up. However, leopard geckos are terrestrial, and so they don't need those sticky pads like arboreal lizards do. Terrestrial lizards just tend to stay on the ground, and while they do climb onto roots and rocks and such, they're not going to be up in the trees. They're going to be mostly close to the ground. And so, as you can see, Bill is clinging to my shirt quite nicely. He can crawl up and down a little bit because of the claws, but unlike something like a crested gecko or a tokay gecko, he won't be able to crawl up the side of my head or my face or anything like that. He can only cling to the fabric. Another thing that's really cool about leopard geckos, and one thing that people really like about them as pets, is that they can come in tons of different colors. Anything from white to black to orange. If you've got a favorite color, you can probably find a leopard gecko with it, which makes them really fun to look at and see all the variation that they have within their genetics. And while it is cool that they have tons of different colors, and you may want to have a whole rainbow of them together in an enclosure, the truth is that in the wild, besides mating, they really spend their lives separate from any other geckos. They don't cuddle with each other like mammals do. They go their separate ways, and then they come during the breeding season and breed. So if you do have a pet gecko, just keep in mind that for the most part they have to stay by themselves because they are solitary. Another cool thing about leopard geckos is the fact that they can actually produce a somewhat of a barking sound. And when you think of lizards, if you're asked to make the sound that a lizard makes, it might take you a while and you might make a hissing noise or something, but leopard geckos can actually squeal. Hopefully you never actually hear this because it's a sound that they only make when they're super stressed out. So it's actually a bad sign if your leopard gecko is making this sound, but it is also kind of cute, and it's kind of cool that they have the ability to do so. Another fact about leopard geckos is that they're actually insectivores, and they strictly eat insects and bugs and stuff like that. They don't eat fruits and vegetables. So they're really easy to feed. You can feed them crickets, mealworms, dubia roaches, just pretty much any feeder insect that you can think of will probably work. Obviously do your research first, but they tend to not be picky eaters. Sometimes they can be, but unlike African fat tails, they're not that picky. Because of their small size and because they're not picky eaters, they actually make great pets. If you are looking into getting into reptiles, or even if you are into reptiles, leopard geckos are always fun to have around. If you learned anything new, be sure to leave a like or subscribe. It's completely free and it helps me out a ton, and it lets me know that you like the content and that you watched all the way through. And also, if there was something about leopard geckos that I didn't mention that you want to mention, feel free to share it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear all the cool facts you guys have about them too. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.